Okay, just thinking about this today, and how much time we spent trying to make sure we didn't get TFL'd or sacked or whatever. And one of the things that we saw, at least you know, when I was in college football, a lot of field zone blitz, the standard bark stunt, long stick becomes the nose. Loop becomes the three. He becomes the contain. This guy cops out. He's the cutter. He sort of plays into the middle, sort of a middle linebacker. And this guy's the killer. He's got to fit his butt right into that B gap. And that was okay. If we were running C gap, the problem would be blunting this dude. He's coming hard and figuring out whether we want to go inside of him or outside of him. And we'd hit the C gap every once in a while. And at one place, we would we'd get into two tights and we'd go opposite. We just run away from the blitz. Uh, we would say, C gap zone uh, red, and the alert would be C gap zone go this way if we saw the zone blitz coming. Um, I think that's pretty good, but knowing what I know now and the way I think of the A gap run, and for one other defense too. Let me just pause this for a second. The defense would run the old switcheroo where the sandbagger would become the B gap defender and the Mike would come over the top. And what would happen is the sniffer would shut the whole thing off and nobody would get to the mic. If the tackle grabbed it, and the problem was the distance this guy came from. Okay, if the tackle grabbed it, then the sniffer could just chip off and get there. But we wound up getting the thing spilled a little bit, and we're out here chicken fighting with this guy. Where we want to put the ball right here, and all of a sudden we're fooling around, and everyone's showing up. Uh, so we never did this, but I'm throwing it out there just to see if there's this thing's got any legs. I tried to get this done at a place, and I got overruled, and I just shut my mouth because that's what you're supposed to do. Believe me, anybody that knows me knows I don't shut my mouth too often, but I did this time, and I'm not sure if I should have, but here we go. I'm going to show you what we got, or what I think we got anyway. Possibility. All right. The problem with sidecar, the back aligned, is you've got to figure out a way to counter the back. You've got the back is aligned here, and the defense wants to defend the path of the back. C gap run or whatever. And when we went to the veer accordion thing, I think we had that solved. Yeah, from the pistol, they can't really align, but they're still going to choke. They're going to choose to bring this from the field. You still got to deal with it. Okay, so here's my idea. Uh, Wish I had done it. Well, who knows what the difference would have made? I wish I hit the lottery. That's what I wish I hit my target a few times better today when I was shooting. But let's just say we're going to run the A gap duo zone thing right here, okay? And I'm gonna just take you through it, okay? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to alert people that something's going on here. We've got to spin. Uh, we're trying to be in 3x1 to stretch him out, but as soon as this guy spins down, we know something's up. Okay, we've got a post safety and a spin safety, and boy, it looks really weak over here. You want to run over here, blah 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 blah. Okay, so let's say we had the C gap going this way, and we saw this coming, and we wanted to alert to A gap this way. Okay, and let's just think about this. I got rid of some of these lines, but the tackle's going to loop out. This guy's still going to cop. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I don't believe sidecar's worth a damn. I watch these NFL guys. They got to run something, and they're in the shotgun, so they run it. But if the quarterback's not a runner, I don't. I think you'd be better off under and running nakeds and deep ball play actions. But that's just me. Um, whatever. Okay, so let's just say we have the veer side. We are alerted. We usually just said something like radar, or some kind of an alert that we had some noise over here. It was usually a left right deal. The guard's looking for the looper, the nose, and he just blows him up. This guy becomes the five technique, and what he wants to do is, as he goes to go double team, and this guy crosses his face, he squares to air. Okay, and he'll probably wind up with that play side backer. If we shut that nose off, we're in pretty good shape. And that's the guy they're working to anyway. Uh, the center, he's got the A gap. Now, what he's got to do, he's got to be cagey about this. Okay, let me see. Let me see what I got here. Where's that end? Okay, that end is going to become the nose. So he's got to, what he's got to do is stuff. He's got to keep an open leg here and stuff this to the guard. He's got to make himself as big as he can to make sure that the guard picks this up. And all the guard's got to do is shut it off. This guy will cover himself. But we just can't have him splitting. He can't get between us. So he's got to be patient enough and then catch this guy. And guess what? He just he's matching him. He digs him and tears him out. These two cats are looking. The guard winds up on the Sam. Let me draw the Sam in there. Okay, and the tackle, chances are, will dig the Sam just because he thinks, well, whatever. But if he sees this thing coming, he digs the Sam, and all he has to do is sort of get hip to hip with the guard and make sure that this guy doesn't chase you down from behind. But if we can shut these two cats off and shut him off, this guy's going to take himself out of it. And we put the ball right there. Okay. And of course, if you're going to read this thing, it's a give read anyway. If you're blocking it and he's coming across, and the great thing about the sniffer is he can get in front of that back. That back in the sniffer will mesh very easily, and he'll blow that thing up pretty good right there. Okay. Uh, I I don't know. We were going to use it. We were going to call it red meant alert opposite. Blue meant we were going to a short edge, and we were going to. It was looking messy over here, and we were going to bring it back over here to a long edge. And then white meant we were going to run C gap this way, but it looked messy, so put it right there. White was the thing we didn't do. Okay, but it's just a thought. Um, the other deal is if they're playing man. Okay, so you're counting on this guy being a cutter, at least copping out and getting out of the front. Okay, let me pause this for a second. Okay, you're hoping that this guy's going to expand a little bit so you can stick that ball in there. If he cops and folds, yeah, he's starting to get a little overcrowded, and that's where you get into your nakeds and things like that. Um, if he doesn't cut, that guy's got to go man. If he's playing zone and all you have you just have one of those what do you call them, run pass options (RPOs). This guy just stops on a slant. He beats the cutter. This guy's pedaling out. But when they lock up man, okay, it's a whole nother. Like I said, it's a whole nother ball game. You might be able to get the slant, stick the slant in there, but he's under it, and he's playing like a linebacker, and you're sort of outnumbered. So what you want to do then is run the quarterback, and I wouldn't run the quarterback. I don't like A gap zone runs with the quarterback. So I would run a counter, quarterback counter, essentially the same thing. But let me just show you. Okay, and then it's a standard thing. The tackle pretty much does the same thing, but he's trying to go to the backside spot. It's a shut off. he'll knock the edge right off of this nose. Okay, as this guy loops out. The center's got to do the same thing. He's got to feed, and this would be tough. Okay, but we got a pincher here. Okay, as the guard pulls, the tackle will pinch this off and try to drive it to the center, but the center is going to wind up with the long stick. Okay, he's going to. I'm using this pointer like you can see the mouse pointer, but let me see if I can do it this way. Probably that won't work. Uh, the center, I'll do it with my finger. The center's got to shut that off. Okay, the tackle's got to shut that off. Okay, we'll book that, let it go. Uh, you could even game plan it where this guy will go this way and he'll pull somebody out, and then you all you have is a trapper. Okay, on the three technique, he pulls him out. That's great, and a wrapper for whoever shows up uh, in the middle, and if you can get away with the book and run the quarterback counter, okay, which I kind of like the quarterback counter. I can never get anybody to do it, but you got to have a runner. It's got to be worth doing it. I've coached in places where the quarterback could throw. I coached places where he could run. I've coached in places where he could do both. And unfortunately, I've coached in places where he could do neither. Okay. And we used to say he's either got to be able to beat you with his arm, beat you with his legs, or beat you with his brain. And sometimes you can't even get a guy to beat you with his brain, but sometimes these guys don't block either. So, it's 6 1, half does the other. But again, any man free, you want to start thinking about how you're going to run the quarterback if you can run him. Uh, if he can throw well enough to beat man free, do that. Okay. Anyway, that's just a thought. So it would be C gap zone, um, check or alert to A gap zone, and everybody thinks it's here, but everybody thinks it's this A gap, but really the read spot is here, the veer side and the accordion side. Just a thought. Okay. Making too many of these videos. Everybody's trying to win games, and here I am goofing around with this stuff. Good luck.